Straight from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
Yeah, so one of the big things is like training in the position, like how much time do I spend on my time trial bike or triathlon bike, or what is the percentage of time? Like me at my peak, I did everything on my time trial bike, but I don't, for the majority of people, then I don't think that that's necessarily the way that you need to go. I kind of work on a 60-40 split. So if you want to be a really good time trialist, then, or triathlete, then 60% of that time realistically needs to be spent in your time trial position. I don't mean by just like literally like riding on like, you know, like the base bar. It's riding in the position itself. And then incorporating in that, you know, when you're in the bars, then you want to include like specific drills into your training. Like for our athletes, we'll generally do like 2 specific sessions a week, whether that's something can be around like pedal effectiveness, how you deliver the power through the pedal stroke, working on cadences. A lot of triathletes and time trialists have like really low cadence, but what you generally find is you want a range of cadences that you can utilise, you know, like when you're riding. So say if I'm going up a hill, I want to be able to lift the cadence and I can lay the power over the crest of the climb and I can use a bigger gear. But say if you know, like you generally ride at 60-70 cadence, what normally happens is you get to the hill, like you've overgeared, you get to the top, you blow your doors, and then you can't lay the power because you've got no gears left. So that's one element of it. Then you've got like the other element of incorporating specific drills, like aero drills, where we work on like shoulder mobility, head range, and that just takes time. But what I'll tell anyone now, like, it's like swimming, you know, like you learn to swim, you've got to do drills all of the time, but you probably get to the stage where you can probably do like one specific drill around like your aero position. But generally speaking, if you are time trialist or triathlete, then the 60-40 will really apply. And I think one of the biggest things that I believe that works really well is when you come to like your race specific, you know, sessions, like, and we're talking like probably like 3 weeks leading into your race, like going out and wearing your aero helmet and bits like that can really bring on your level of performance again, because we get these aero helmets and generally we'll bring them out on like race day, but we want to make sure that you know, like visually we can, you know, like we see a pothole, we see a car, we see a pedestrian pull out in front of it, we can react. And what can happen a lot of the time is like you don't feel as incorporated to the bike as having like the aero helmet on. So for my athletes, we generally we do like race specific sessions where we'll go out, you know, you might look like an idiot, but let's face it, we're wearing like lycra and things, but wearing your aero helmet can help as well. I think like the winter is like, it's generally the time that you never ever want to let your position go on like the bike, you know, like that time of year I would doing like 2 sessions on like your time trial bike, like definitely. And they're really specific aero drills, or, you know, like pedal effectiveness drills or cadence drills, whatever they are. You want to do those at least twice a week. And that's when, you know, like training in front of the mirror, you can make massive adaptation. And then all you're trying to do is gain like muscle memory. So when you go out, you know, like I know, say if I'm in the aero position, I can feel like these little muscles engage. So you just need to incorporate them. And then how that's going to translate when you go into the road is that, say you start to feel the wind. So like I can feel it around my arms, like I know I've got like this separation, but that takes a long time to get to that phase. But say it's, you know, like when you're on like your time trial bike, you can start to feel the wind around like your head position. But if you develop this muscle memory, you've got the strength then to incorporate that onto like the bike. So it's like, you know, like when we were kids, we always stick around out the car, you know, like that is always going to make it go faster. If you're, I know you're driving at 30 miles an hour, as soon as you start to lift it, then it starts to grab. And that's all drag's doing. It's trying, you know, like it's like putting the brakes on. That's the best way to explain it. but I would say that if you can incorporate these drills, you can translate that onto the road and you're going to go quick. But when it comes to bike skill, this is the big thing that a lot of people struggle with. Like, this is when like riding outdoors is going to help quite a lot as well. Spending all your time on the turbo trainer is not what I'd look at doing. You know, like, you've got to incorporate the two. And that's when nowadays we've got like gravel bikes, cyclocross bikes, that we can have fast and stable tyres, and you can do all these different things to make you into a much better bike handler, which is going to again incorporate faster times.